Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, y'all. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, mm. How y'all doing? This is day 12 of Vlogmas/Freedom-Muss. What y'all doing? It is Christmas, and I think it's about 11 a.m. on Eastern time, right?
Yeah,
Hey, y'all.
there's about.
Hey, y'all. So, first of all, if y'all don't know, my name's Halisi.
And I'm Rick. Welcome to Our Black
On
Utopia.
our channel, we talk about money, travel, and life abroad. We live in Lisbon, Portugal, y'all. And we are celebrating, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon here. So we're about to celebrate Christmas. We already celebrated last weekend, and we're gonna celebrate some more, right?
Smo is a good thing.
Mo is a good thing. For those of you who don't know, back in 2018, y'all, Rick and I got a wake-up call. We were getting close to retirement age, and we looked at our money, and it looked crazy. Oh my God. But we did get our financial life together, and we went from negative 22,000 to over 1.1 million in net worth, y'all. That's why we in Lisbon, Portugal on Christmas. If y'all think this is interesting, if you want to know how you can do it too, not Lisbon, Portugal, but how you can live a better life, how you can live life on your terms, how you maybe can live life abroad, no matter where that is, right? From Uruguay, Brazil, to the Caribbean, to Thailand, to South Africa, and everything in between. No matter where you want to live, it is possible. And we are living proof that you do not have to be richity rich to do the damn thing. All right. Right.
Yeah.
And this is our Christmas present to you, y'all. This is our Christmas present to you because over the past 11 days, we have been giving you bite-sized teachings to let you know how you can generate extra cash flow to make the life of your dreams possible. This is not fantasy. This is not some crypto bullshit, right? This is not no Ponzi scheme. This is just simple math and cash flow. That's all it is. That's all we talking about. Nothing magic about it, right?
No.
Nothing magic about it. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, please subscribe. We know that about 50% of you have been lurking around, and here we go into the new year.
Right around the corner.
Right? Here we go into the new year. Come on, subscribe. Don't have commitment issues, right? So that we can make sure that this information is given out to every single folk who look like us, right? This is what tells YouTube that, yeah, this information is valuable. Then hit that like button, hit the notification bell twice so that you know every single time that we go live or drop a new video. So today, y'all, we are actually going to answer questions. Now, I'm going to go ahead and change that. Put a Q in front of your question or comment if you have something to ask. Here's the thing, y'all. What we have been talking about over the past 11 days has been about how to create additional income streams, right? And we wanted to frame this not in terms of getting that second job, not in terms of the gig economy, like doing an Uber Eats or Uber Delivers or any of that stuff, or saying, welcome to Walmart, where you're trading your time for money. That is very last century, is fruit of the slavery tree, and it is not something that we would necessarily promote on this channel. If you need to do that, no shame.
No.
Honest work, no shame. But we want to teach you a better way. We want to teach you an easier way. And I know that every single person who is watching us has enough intelligence to have something that they can market, something that they can teach, something that they can create, produce. All right. We already know that. We already know that because we know what utopians are all about, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
You could do it. You got something somebody else wants.
Exactly. So we're going to take time now and just say hello to folks who are actually watching us. I can't believe on Christmas Day, Hey, Ailey.
Hey,
I know you've been trying to play catch up. Hey, CK, good to see you in the chat. Jackie
Hey,
is in the
Jackie.
chat. Feliz Natal, boas festas. Here in Lisbon, Portugal. Bequel is in the chat. Good morning and Merry Christmas. Hey,
Hey,
Gwen and
Gwen and
Derek.
Derek. And Derek, we will. He said that they're going to be headed to Mexico here in a couple of weeks and asked us when we're going to come there.
You know we were just there. We still trying
Yeah,
to
but we
wait.
didn't stay with them in San Miguel.
Yeah, I know, but we were just there.
I'm just telling you what he asked me. He asked.
We won't be back for a little while now, Gwen and Derek. All right. But when we do, we'll make sure that we visit you. Yeah, we'd spent 7 weeks between Mexico and South America just about a month and a half ago. And we got back about a week before Thanksgiving. So it,
A lot of traveling, a lot of fun,
yeah,
a
I
lot of
like
airplanes.
yeah, the airplanes, the airplanes. But yo, 7 weeks. We went to Querétaro. Then we went to Panama City. Then we went to Medellin,
Medellin,
Colombia. Then we went to
Cartagena.
Cartagena, which I have actually been. Okay, y'all don't hate, and don't like laugh. But I have actually had Cartagena on my list since I saw *Romancing the Stone* way back in the day.
And they didn't even really film it there.
No, they didn't. They didn't. Now that but I could see like that the fort. Remember the
Oh
fort where he's
yeah,
like, look at them
we're
gators,
looking
right?
gators. Yeah,
So the old town El Centro, right in Cartagena, is surrounded by one of those fort type walls, and so I see what they were trying to replicate. But
and correction on that. He said, "Look at them choppers."
oh, did he say look at them choppers? One of my favorite movies, and I don't even remember the catch line. But anyway, we got to go to Cartagena, and then we went to Curacao, which is part of the Dutch islands, the ABC Islands. I'm sure all of you all have heard of Aruba, and then there's Bonaire, and of course Curacao.
Curacao.
Now, the interesting part about that is it started getting us ready to come on back home to Portugal because Curacao. I don't know about the other islands, but Curacao was colonized by Portugal first. So Curacao is a Portuguese, like the way it's spelled and everything else. And they speak a Portuguese patois because it wasn't pure.
No,
So it was like a Creole, right? A Portuguese Creole there in Curacao, as well as, of course, Dutch. And there was a little Spanish because y'all know Curacao is right above Venezuela. All right. And so you get a lot of immigrants from Venezuela and those countries that are surrounding there. And of course, English. They speak English there as well. I think those are the four languages that we heard, right? For
yes,
the most part. For the most part.
I'm sure there were
So
other ones.
yes, but Curacao is a beautiful, beautiful island. The people are really, really cool, and we had an amazing time. And then we went back to Querétaro for Day of the Dead,
Yes, which
and
was fantastic.
that was fantastic. That was fantastic. I mean, I could have used a little bit more warmth had I known, because y'all, Mexico does get
Mexico
cold
gets
at
cold.
night,
Oh yes,
depending
it
upon where
does.
you are, right? In Querétaro, which is pretty high up, it was warm during the day, but in the evening it got cooler. And but the show was fantastic, the energy was fantastic, the food was fantastic, and everything else. And so we had an amazing time on. It's kind of next to a winery, right?
It was. I think it
On the
was in the
winery.
winery.
On the wineries, yeah.
And I
So,
believe it was family owned.
oh, that's right. That's
Yes.
right. Fantastic time. Fantastic time. And then we, went back to LA to visit some family and came on back home. How are we able to do that? How are we able to maintain our apartment here in Lisbon, Portugal, as well as travel for 7 weeks to 4 to 5 different countries on 2 different continents? Well, 3 technically, because we also did London. And we're going back to London to see Josh Johnson. How were we able to do that? The way that we were able to do that is understanding one our cash flow. And then number two, making sure that we have put aside a certain amount of money as our hell yeah fund.
Hell yeah, we're going to do that.
What is our hell yeah fund? When somebody says, oh, you don't want to come to Panama? We say hell yeah, because we got the money set aside and it's not attached to anything else. All right. So, hey, Milo, good to see you. PM is in the house. Hey, Helen and Nikki and Tasha. Y'all, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Sharon. Merry Christmas. Any more scholarships? I'm thinking of truly relocating to Lisbon, Portugal, and my hubby and I are 51 years old. Y'all young. There are not any more scholarships for Beyond the Bling right now. I got to look. We gave out 12 scholarships. If one of those scholarships or a few of those scholarships were not accepted, then we will, and I'll know that in the next couple of days or so. But here's the thing, my love. Lisbon, Portugal in general, Western Europe, but especially Portugal today, is a little bit complicated. And I'm not saying that, oh, if you had set your heart on Portugal, then just forget about it. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying you have to set your heart on Portugal. Seriously. Western Europe is becoming a little bit more difficult to immigrate to for a few reasons. And one has to do with the melon felon and what he is doing, which is forcing folks to leave, right? What he has been doing since 2016, to be perfectly honest. Like, had he not gotten elected in 2016, what the United States does has a global impact, right? So the amount of Ukrainian immigrants that have come here are a direct result of our lack of participation in what is going on in Ukraine, regardless of how they treated people who look like us, right? What happens there does have a global impact, especially for those of us of African descent who live in the diaspora. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say.
Right. And so, so that's number one. So we've got a huge amount of Ukrainian folks who started to seek refuge here back in 2021, 2022. Okay. And then you compound that with all of the other nonsense that is going on in the rest of the world, right? And so you've got refugees and or folks who are trying to escape economic persecution, much less religious or racial cultural persecution, and just bad living, right? All of those folks who would probably be immigrating anyway. And then you add on to that, those of us from the Western world, quote unquote, who recognize that that the cost of living in England, Australia, United States, and Canada, especially United States and Canada, the United States being number one, is out of control. At least in Canada, they have universal health care. At least in Australia, when somebody like starts shooting somebody massively, like we just saw a few weeks ago, right? The PM immediately takes responsibility and changes the laws, at least. Go ahead and get that so that stops ringing. I'm not sure who's calling, but
Alex.
Okay. Hey, Alex. At least. But in America, ain't nothing changed. Like, it's like folks in America are like trudging along as if shit's normal. They're trudging along as if ain't nothing changed. When y'all know the United States has seen its glory days behind it, at least for the next 2 to 3 generations. And that's a fact. Right? We know that. We know that. Right? And so if you want to move to Portugal, y'all, you got to really, really want it.
Oh, yeah, you do. I mean, you got to want it just to put up with
Bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy.
Right?
Yeah, you really have.
Right? So what are we talking about? I'm just going to let y'all know because, this is kind of a free for all today. It's Christmas. So we're going to tell you, if you want to move to Portugal, the minimum requirements are a 1-year lease for an apartment before you even apply. Yes, you have committed to a 1-year lease and they might tell you no. Now, the law as it exists today means that you are only responsible to pay a third of that lease. So 4 months, that's what you're required to pay, 4 months for that lease. But still,
Yeah, that's a commitment.
right? That's a commitment. Yes, we did that. We did that. We did that as we were at home packing, and our landlord was showing us pictures of like scenery and stuff around the apartment, talking about Lisbon's waiting for you and all this other stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's the reality.
And we started when it was still not lax, but
It was easier.
it was easier.
It was easier. But the requirements, for the most part, have not changed.
They haven't changed.
They haven't changed. Okay, so you need that 1-year lease. You also need private health insurance. You need a tax ID here in Portugal. And a bank account, right? And that bank account needs to have a good amount of money in it. So for us, in those days, our immigration specialists told us 4 months worth of living expenses. You can't ask how much that is because 4 months worth of living expenses for a family of 4 is much different than 4 months worth of living expenses for a single person, right? That family of 4 is all going to be submitting that one bank account for their paperwork, right? Whereas a single person is just there's one person submitting that one bank account. So don't ask me how much 4 months of living expenses are because it's obviously relative. Relative, right? What else do you have to have? You have to have an FBI background check that has been apostilled. You have to have a letter of intent. Why do you want to move to Portugal? What about Portugal intrigues you? How are you going to get money here? How are you going to move money here? Am I forgetting anything? I think that's it.
Pretty much it.
I think that's it. That's enough. That's enough because when we got permanent residency in Mexico, the only thing that we needed to have was proof of money and why. That was it. And the proof of money was fine. We had our letter of intent that said why. We're both Southern California kids. Mexico is our backyard, et cetera, et cetera. We appreciate the culture and everything else. So that was easy for us in those days. And yes, we are still collecting residencies, y'all. We're still collecting residencies. Why? Because the world is uncertain right now. What everyone watching, what I want you to imagine and what I want you to believe is that this is the world right before World War II, when the Jewish folks and other folks who did not fit their, Hitler's idea had to flee. I want you to imagine what it feels like. Because we've already seen the masked people walking around the street. We've already seen them acting like Gestapo.
We see them. We see them.
It's happening now, y'all. Wake up. It's happening, okay? So just because they're going after people right now who appear to be folks who do not belong in America, that definition changes. It's because who decides who belongs and who doesn't? And right now, it does not appear it's the law. It does not appear it's the Constitution. It does not appear that it is the courts. So all of you who are watching today, Merry Christmas, a wake-up call. Here's our gift to you. Wake the fuck up. Wake up. America's gone. It's dead. It's never coming back in our lifetime. Period. The end. And if you're watching us, you're either Black or you're part of the spicy others who are allies. That means you're in the crosshairs. Because if you support us and you're not Black, you're in the crosshairs. We love you. We support you, but you're in the crosshairs. And if you look like us, you're in the crosshairs. If you have melanin, you're in the crosshairs. You are in the crosshairs. And I want you all to have a backup plan. We would be remiss if we sat here and we living in Portugal, y'all, and doing all of this, and we did not prepare you for how you too can become free. That's for sure. Am I lying?
No.
All right, so let's see what you guys are talking about. How can one take bite-sized piece of life of their own on their own terms as one gets started and progress forward towards FI? So you start taking bite-sized pieces, and I'm gonna let you answer this as well, Sweet Pea. So my answer is the 1% rule. Okay, and the 1% rule says that you start doing 1% more. Either that is 1% more exercise, physical, 1% more in your investments, 1% more in your savings, okay? 1% more in paying off debt. Because that 1% accumulates over time. And if you commit right now to saying, okay, this payday, I'm going to take $10 more than whatever you're doing right now, and I'm going to invest that. And the next month, I'm going to raise that amount by 1%. And I'm going to automate it so that I don't have to think about it. Within a year, you've raised your savings rate by 12%. That's how you can do it in bite-sized chunks. Do you have anything to add to that, sweetie?
My only thing would be to find different streams of income outside of a job. Like, you know, doing a side hustle, finding different things that you like doing, finding different things that you have that you no longer need in your house and sell stuff.
That part too.
You know, get rid of stuff
That part
because
too.
you'll find out a lot of people when you try to give it away, they don't want it.
They don't want it.
So it's just finding different means of raising more money, getting yourself into a better situation financially by any means necessary.
Exactly.
House hacking.
Exactly. And CK, I know this is not for you. You're asking this question for everybody else. So house hacking, that's one thing that Rick just said. What does that mean? So for us, one of the things, because we were trying to save enough money to retire and to also be able to travel. And so one of the things that I introduced Rick to and Stephanie Perry introduced me to is house sitting. And so we have been able to house sit in various countries around the world. And that has allowed us to expand our vacation time. Because think about it. And here's the thing, that this is how we roll. First, we had to do some house sits at home to get those good scores, right? Like you have to do on Airbnb.
It doesn't take a lot. No,
it doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot, especially for mature folks. And especially if you've got some kind of rating on Airbnb, but in any event, so that's what we did. But here's the thing, y'all, we have been able to take 2 and 3 week vacations in places that we're not necessarily on the top of our bucket list, but we're on our bucket list, but we're expensive, like Brussels, Belgium. Belgium's expensive. The Netherlands is expensive. All of the, Sweden and all of those places, Switzerland, all of those places are expensive. And they're not at the top of my bucket list because they cold. That's me. Even though I ski, I'll go there when I when it's time to ski. But they're cold. So there's other places that are higher up. However, if you telling me that I can go there and all we got to do is take care of a puppy or take care of some some kitties or something like that, and we get free housing for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, even 6 weeks sometimes. Shoot.
Yeah.
And look, and we don't be staying in no places that are not nicer than where we live. Okay. Okay. So when we stay, like the place that we stayed in Obidos.
Oh, on the golf course.
Yeah, on the golf course in Obidos, which is on the Silver Coast of here in Portugal. All right. It was laid with a swimming pool, and then beyond the swimming pool was the golf course, and we had access to their little electric vehicle, smart car, and all of that. That's how we roll. And because we are responsible adults, we are trusted with that. But y'all trust the results, the adults too.
Yeah. So
Y'all can do that too, right? And so that's one part of house hacking. The other part of house hacking is taking part of your house and renting it out. That's another form of house hacking. Another form of house hacking for those of you who are still working is to let the company pay for your housing. When the government transfers you abroad, they usually pay for your housing. And there are some multinational companies that will pay partially for your housing if you agree to move abroad.
right.
Look at those opportunities for those folks who are still younger. Look at those opportunities. And folks who still need to save some money. Look at those opportunities, y'all. All right. Hey, Biant and Urban Travel Girl. Michelle is in the house. Celeste. Peace to you as well, Celeste. Elise says, my YouTube feed gives me financial info. My concern is the American dollar. What are your thoughts on investing in other currencies? No, I'm going to leave that. It's so we've been studying this. Y'all know, if y'all been following us for a while, we've been talking about this, haven't we? And so where we are at right now, it is twofold. One, as far as investing goes, we still just invest in dollars. And for tax reasons, it's still the most advantageous to stay within the US exchange market. And we have been purposeful and intentional about investing less in American based companies and more in international companies, right, especially those companies from BRIC nations. If you do not know what a BRIC nation is, go back and look at our feed from about a year ago and you'll see a few videos on BRICS. Okay. So that's what we've been doing. Like the Fidelities and stuff like that of the world, it is very difficult for them to have accounts with different currencies. Now we have the opportunity, because we're here, perhaps to open up a brokerage account in England.
Right.
Or maybe in Portugal. I don't know. I know that Fidelity has a branch in London. Okay, so that is a thing that we could do. But look,
we could do it through our bank here.
And we could do that too. We could invest through our bank here. But the tax implications.
Return.
Yeah,
on investment.
Yeah, the return is not bad.
No, it's not bad.
The return is not bad. But especially for Americans, and I say especially for Americans, because if you're British, if you're Australian, if you're Canadian, I know for Britain and Australia, this is not the case. I'm not sure about Canada. But no, and I'm almost certain, I don't think Canada's the case either. But for Americans, we have to file a tax return. Like, we are tax residents for America, regardless of where we live and regardless of how long we've lived outside of the United States. Does that mean we have to pay taxes in two places? No, not necessarily. But what it does mean is that we are tax residents and must file a tax return. And there are tax implications, especially. So anything that is not taxed here in Portugal, but is subject to tax in the United States, means we'll have to pay taxes on that in the United States, and then and vice versa. So that's how it works. You do not get out of the taxes. You don't. You do not. But we got to think about all of these things, okay? So it's not just as simple as asking about, especially if you're living abroad, it's not just as simple as asking about trading in different currencies. I want you all to think about the tax implications of wherever you're moving to. And I want you to plan for a day when the United States may not have a tax treaty with whichever country you are planning to relocate to. Because I don't know what the Melon's doing. Didn't he just recall all the ambassadors?
He was recalling a number of ambassadors. I don't know if he recalled all of them
Based upon what?
because he wanted to.
Exactly. Exactly. Hey, Jazzy. So we got Shantae, we got Jazzy's in the house, Tiwo is in the house, Suzanne is in the house. Good morning. Merry Christmas to you as well. It's afternoon here, actually. We ate. I made some scrimp crepes.
Oh, crepes, yeah.
With hollandaise
Good.
sauce inside.
Very good.
And homemade hash browns, you know.
20K.
Wow.
Just to leave.
That, Celeste, that doesn't necessarily make sense. Like, maybe it costs him or her 20,000 to leave in the manner in which they want to leave.
But just for the everyday citizen.
Yeah, just to like get on a plane. I don't know. I don't know. And I want y'all to know, because I'm not saying that this Ukrainian person is lying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that is not necessarily the case for everyone. Okay. And so I really, really, really want y'all to take things with a grain of salt into your homework. Do you think the slowdown of VFS appointments is related to catch-up or are politically motivated? Both, Jackie. Both. Just like it is in the United States, right? When those folks who call themselves conservatives want to stop something from happening, but don't necessarily have the political power to stop it absolutely, they throw wrenches. That's what they did with the Affordable Care Act. They started by chipping away at it until what's left over is like not even worth keeping.
Yeah, to discourage you.
Mm-hmm. And that's what they're doing here. What's kind of crazy about what's happening here is that every Portuguese person that I talk to does not agree with the sentiment of the Conservative Party. That's what's interesting. And then of course maybe the people who are agree with the Conservative Party wouldn't talk to me in the first place. Yeah. Maybe that's the case, right?
Speak English.
Right? They don't speak English. Exactly.
No, I think they would.
But yeah, some of them would, because they partially agree, but they don't. But not us. They're not talking about us that they want to get rid of, right? So it's the same argument here that they have in America when it comes to immigration, and it's always that the government. I am not. This is not my belief or feeling, because I am a guest here. I am telling you what Portuguese folks have told me. And they have said that the government is corrupt and they're placing the blame upon immigrants because they don't want to fix the problem seriously. That's what the Portuguese folks that I know have told me. It sounds kind of familiar. Now, I personally kind of like the president. I think he's kind of cool peeps in terms of just being very accessible and seemingly willing to work with folks of all different stripes. So I kind of like him. And of course, compared to the United States president, there's no comparison.
No.
If we were comparing him to the United States president, we got Obama, y'all. We got Obama. We got the coolest person in the whole wide world.
But guess who's coming up?
Here in Portugal. Chega. Yeah, the Trumpers here are called Chega, and they're gaining popularity, and they're gaining popularity because it's very easy to play the blame game instead of just fixing things. And what is so crazy, y'all, is that it's not that difficult to fix things. It just means that some people are not going to be as rich as they would have been otherwise. That's all. It doesn't mean that they will be without. It just means that they're not going to be cajillionaires. Maybe they'll just be multi-millionaires. And for some reason, that's an issue. And so the same motivations that are driving the shit in the United States is the same motivations that is driving the BS around the world. All right? Because humans are humans are humans are humans are humans. The other part of that is the slowdown with not VFS, but with the immigration stuff here. Because see, VFS, y'all, just to let you know, for those of you who are not thinking about Portugal, you might not know about VFS. So VFS is just a company that is an administrator for immigration departments around the world. That's all they are. Just an administrator. Okay, that's the company, that's the business model. Okay, they don't know more than the people at the consulate or your immigration specialist. Believe me when I tell you, that's all they are. I hate to put it this way, but paper pushers.
Yeah,
that's what they are.
That's what they do. They collect the information and send it on to the embassy.
Exactly. So not being able to get an appointment with VFS does not necessarily, and see, if you're trying to move to Germany, if you're trying to move to England, if you're trying to move to France, all of those countries use VFS. There are other countries that use VFS as well, because when we were in there, we looked around, we thought everybody was there from Portugal, right?
Yeah.
And then we realized
all the different countries.
Right. We were 2 of 4 out of 20 to 25, France, 30 people,
Germany,
who were there at VFS for Portugal. All right. Everybody else was for all these different countries. Okay. So what is happening politically here in Portugal does not necessarily affect VFS. The amount of applications that they can process monthly at the consulate and or the embassy, if you live in the DC area, that's political, because they only have a certain amount of employees. And here was the case in 2022, just to let y'all know, for those of you who are thinking about Portugal. I cannot say that this is the case for any other country, but each consulate only literally only had one person who was in charge of looking at every single application.
Real.
I thought our immigration person was saying, yeah, one person plus a staff, like one person in charge plus they had 2 or 3 people. No. No. One person. Okay, so that's why it takes so long. That's why it takes so long. We applied August 4th. We got our answer at the end of October. And this was way back in 2022, y'all. Way back in 2022. So you want some warm weather like here? Oh, it's not cold here. It's not cold. It's like Southern California winter cold is what it is. This is new.
No, it's not.
Oh, we got to ignore it right now for a day. Go back to that. All right. Yeah, we're trying. Hey, ladies, Frida. Yeah, we're trying to jet set, but you know. Who else is in the chat? Hey, Valerina, good to see you. I'm for always. I am for you always. Okay, I am for you always. T Rump. T Rump fired, recalled, Biden appointed ambassadors. He's so petty. He's so petty in a way that hurts himself. That's what's so stupid. Like, I'm petty sometimes, but I'm not petty in a way that would be self destructive. That's the thing. That's the thing. So, anyway, all right, y'all. We've been on talking to y'all for 40 minutes, and we just wanted to come in and wish you all a Merry Christmas. I think that we're going to do Kwanzaa starting tomorrow. I think we're going to go every day live starting tomorrow. All right. For those of you who need help with all of this, the Ready to Retire Toolkit is in the description below. It's free, y'all. It's free under OBU resources. All the free resources are there. All right. If you need to, the Move Abroad Toolkit, that also is in the description below. And then, of course, we have our Side Hustle Challenge starting the second to third week in January. We're going for 10 weeks, and we're going to meet you every single Saturday, even when we're in England, every single Saturday. All right. We will meet with you for group coaching to bring you from idea to business launch so you can start clocking them dollars without trading your time for money. Okay. Without trading your time for money. Yes, there is upfront work. No, there is no such thing as 100% passive income. We recognize that. But how about working 1 hour for 10 hours worth of money? How about that? That's what we want for you. How about working 1 hour for 20 hours worth of money? That's what we want for you. And if you want that for you too, then you need to join our Side Hustle Challenge. The other thing that we have, if money in general is your thing, is Beyond the Bling. That is our financial freedom program for late bloomers like ourselves. Everything that we learned to go from negative 22,000 to over 1.1 million in net worth is in that course. And we started late, y'all. We started late. Y'all know we started late. Okay. If we can do it, you can do it too.
Yeah,
All the information is in that course. Right now, we do not have scholarships available. Every single every single dollar that is donated to Our Black Utopia goes to our scholarship fund because we are about building community. We are about each one, reach one, teach one. That's what we're about. And with that, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
We'll see you
everybody.
tomorrow. Bye.